This is AJ Caldwell of the Flex League. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever.
Welcome back to the Flex League, the only fantasy football league whose commissioner thinks Elf was a bad movie. I'm Todd Schaefer with your TFL updates after Week 14. Let's start with some quarterback talk. DeSean Watson is back from his suspension, and to put it kindly, he looks rusty. Less kindly, he's been playing like dog shit. A terrible debut was washed out by better production this past week, but is he even worth picking up or keeping in your lineups? Let's get our sideline reporter Brianna on the line with TFL ownership.
Hey Todd, great point. Let's talk DeSean Watson, boys. How are we feeling about his performance going forward?
Here's the thing about the Browns and with what's going on with DeSean Watson. His arm looks like overcooked spaghetti.
He hasn't played over 700 days. That people have to remember that too.
If you did, for fantasy owners, if you drafted him thinking that he was going to be like a draft and stash, like, oh yeah, he's going to go off in these last 6 weeks whenever he comes back, you're a freaking idiot.
He probably didn't make the playoffs if he did that, to be honest with you.
No, like, seriously. Because, like, I don't really think he's super, super cooked. I think he's super rusty. Because, as Dante mentioned, he hasn't played football in over 2 seasons. So, it's kind of...
The difference between rusty and cooked, though, is 5 bad games. Oh, no. If we're talking fantasy for the Browns or football for the Browns, I would prefer Jacoby Brissett.
I mean,
yeah.
You know what you're getting out of them with Jacoby, that's for sure.
I'm assuming this means a lot of things for all Browns weapons.
You know, you have your relatively short yardage targets. Let's be honest about Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's a great PPR guy right now. And that's a great role to have for someone who's still, like, getting acclimated to the speed of the game. Or, like, maybe whose arm has turned into spaghetti over 2 years. And then the same thing with David Njoku, tight ends, short yardage targets. The weird thing, though, is that this is affecting Nick Chubb's usage, because I feel like they want to get DeSean Watson, ramped up, which lessens the touches for Nick Chubb. But for some reason, it's also lessening the touches for Kareem Hunt. They just have Nick Chubb out there as, like, the most expensive blocking back in the world, and it's leading to inefficiency. Hopefully you did pick up Donovan Peoples-Jones, and more than likely you're not going to be in AJ's spot who predicted it, and you will need Donovan Peoples-Jones going into the playoffs if you happen to make it. You know what I mean? But I worry about the folks that need Nick Chubb, that need Amari Cooper because of his early usage, or the folks that have a quarterback injury and like, ooh, look who I have stashed, it's DeSean Watson. I don't know if he's going to ramp up into like more than a mid-tier, low-tier streamer over the next 4 weeks. So hopefully you have other options.
Great points, gentlemen. Back to you, Todd.
Thanks, Brianna. We'll actually be coming right back to you and TFL owners with another quarterback crisis. Moving into quarterback issues with higher stakes, Kyler Murray went down early in Week 14 and is done for the rest of the season. While this also means a lot for Cardinals weapons, Murray's injury means whoever owns fantasy stock is going into the playoffs without their starting quarterback. This is now the third year or so in which Murray has missed time or downshifted in the second half of the fantasy season. Brianna, I know Dante is on the line. Is he able to speak on Murray's injury?
He is, Todd. Dante, tough luck again with Kyler Murray on the injury wagon once more. You must be worried, especially with the possible last place slot looming. I assume you have some words prepared?
Let's
for your matchup against Dalton.
Yeah, for my matchup against Dalton. So I have the number 1 pick on waivers this week. The one good thing, right? In Week 15, I get number 1 on waivers. That's really going to help me out. I can pick up J.K. Dobbins or Jerick McKinnon this week. If you look back, I don't look for sympathy. I don't look for anything like that. But this is just straight facts. If you look back at every single week I've been in this league, just something besides the very first week that I won, everything after that, there has been something that has happened that has allowed me to lose, or just like something that just adds to just how shitty my team is in general. Like yesterday, Kyler Murray tearing his ACL in the first minute of the game. That's just like a cherry on top of the sundae, or like maybe some sprinkles. We're not even at the cherry yet because we still haven't gone through the losers bracket for me. Going up against the Joe Mixons, losing by 10 because I put in Sutton instead of Judy, and Sutton goes out in the first quarter. So Judy's the one that gets all the points. Like, it's tough.
And I'll open this up to everyone else. What does Murray's injury mean for the Cardinals? McCoy will be under center now. How much of a downgrade is this for all relevant Arizona weapons?
If I'm a James Conner owner, I am smashing the button on James Conner. James Conner is going to be their only viable source of reliable yardage. If Kyler Murray is like operating at less than stellar capacity, that running game immediately gets upgraded. For their receivers, downgrade every single one of them.
Colt McCoy isn't a bad second option. Like, he does okay, game manager wise. Like, I think the Cardinals could still stay somewhat afloat, like receiver wise, instead of like Hollywood Brown and obviously Hopkins. But I would be clamoring to put James Conner into our lineup. But I kind of think altogether the team is kind of going to just start sinking down. The trajectory is about to be kind of bad for everybody on that team fantasy-wise, honestly. Because if you can't pass the ball, you can't really run the ball. And that's how this league kind of goes today. So I'm kind of down on every Cardinals player. Like, I might not play James Conner or anybody on that roster.
It looks like you have some important decisions to make. Back to you, Todd.
All right, and before we dive into more fantasy football and playoff talk, we have our last bit of good news for the Flex League's regular season as we get into playoff time. Take it away, AJ.
The suit is on, and you know what that means. It's playoff time. Welcome back to Good News with AJ, everybody. Here to remind you how good you have it in fantasy football. We have some running backs that have been disappointing you of late, but take heart, because come playoff time, they have a great schedule ahead of them to put up big fantasy points. Alvin Kamara, for example, the New Orleans Saints, has a great schedule ahead for him to put up clutch points in round one of the championship game. The Lions running backs, DeAndre Swift or Jamal Williams, take your pick. They're going to come up big because of their lack of strength of schedule as we head toward championship weekend. And finally, Dalvin Cook. The Vikings may be frauds, but Dalvin Cook is not. He will put up huge points for you in round one or in round two. We only got 4 weeks left, and a champion will be crowned soon. Good news, stay tuned.
And right off that bit of holiday shine, we're diving right back into the pain with another game of Wheel of Punishment. 5 winners, 5 losers, and you know the drill by now. Let's see what happens. Spin the wheel.
Come on, baby. Come on.
No, Julian. Just Julian this week. That's all.
Real.
Bro.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I feel good.
They were good.
I feel good. I feel good.
whoever
I
gets,
feel pretty good.
Kendall's a father. Kendall's a father. He's gonna be
Kendall
fine.
understands. Kendall is very understanding.
And Kendall of Team Brady's bunch joins the biggest winner's circle. Who is getting screwed over?
Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's go! Finally! Let's go!
AJ, I really want this bring a stuffed animal to dinner thing done right. I want a tuxedo. I want a Ruth's Chris.
When did Julian get to pick that punishment?
Bad news, AJ. We'll be back later with that punishment update from AJ. By the way, congratulations on making it to the playoffs, Kendall. We do want to go back to Team Brady's bunch, though, because despite their incredible wide receiver room, their running back cupboard has been a bit bare as of late. Travis Etienne officially rode the bench for Kendall in Week 14. A good choice as he turned in some rough performances as Jacksonville's supposed bell cow in the backfield. Let's go to our ownership group on the line for more.
I mean, I'm going to be biased because I'm playing Kendall and I'm a dick. So I'll let you guys take the reins on this one first.
It seems to me that Travis Etienne is going to be that guy that you play based off of a matchup. If you have better options, you might want to look elsewhere.
Dallas, the Jets, who have been sneakily one of the best defenses on the planet, and Tennessee. That's 3 out of 4 really bad running back matchups. And he's not that much of a running back anyway. He's a scat back. And in the short yardage, do you trust Travis Etienne over Deontay Foreman, knowing that he's going to be going up against Micah Parsons for the first round of the playoffs?
And of course, we have Julian being obnoxious on the docket. Buckle up, folks. He's our number 1 seed going into the playoffs. But for now, we have another court-mandated fantasy therapy session from everyone's least favorite TFL owner. Julian?
Namaste, my children. Welcome back for a playoff edition of Fantasy Therapy. My name is Juju, and let me help you unfuck up your fantasy football season. 3 running back cores that you can sneakily start in your lineups if you have an injured starter. Kansas City's core of Jerick McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco. They play the Texans in Week 15, and the schedule gets only easier from there. Plus, Kansas City definitely will make the playoffs, definitely wants to rest their more valuable passing game. Trust both of these guys to work in a good committee together in a high-powered Andy Reid offense. 2, Zonovan Knight and Ty Johnson and Michael Carter in New York. Mike White is producing just a better offense than Zach Wilson, and he's probably going to get injured at some point these last few weeks. Trust the Jets to trust their backs. And finally, we have Cam Akers. No quarterback, bad wide receiver matchups, no problem for the one piece of offense that Sean McVay can actually trust. Namaste.
Let's hope he doesn't take his own advice. And to end this week's episode, let's get some playoff talk going. Our top 4 seeds after the regular season are Lisa Wilson's friends, who earned their top spot by taking down their only rival in the season's heavyweight finale, Team Too Legit to Quit, who takes the 2nd seed. A pair of monstrous wide receiver rooms take the 3rd and 4th seeds, with the Mahomes Depot and Brady's Bunch rounding off the playoff bracket. But it's not over for the rest of the Flex League, because in this league, there's always more to lose than there is to win. Let's go to Brianna to explain how last place will work.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, that's right. Though Dante and Team Danger Russ are currently in last place in record and points, they might still avoid the awful punishment that awaits last place at the end of this season, including the postseason bracket. Now, the team with the lowest total fantasy points scored will be handed an epic punishment off the wheel. Now, if, however, they win the Flex League's consolation bracket, they will be given immunity, and the second lowest scoring team will be punished. So Team Dangerous is still not out of it yet. Now, how do we feel, boys? Let's talk playoffs and consolation bracket.
But Julian's at peace right now, man. Just look at him, like he's just chilling on his bed. Got his.
Look at the way he's sitting. It wouldn't shock me if he wasn't wearing shorts right now.
I have my nicest Lululemon shorts.
It doesn't look like you're wearing shorts right now. It looks like you're just butt ass naked. And just to bring it back to the whole cherry on top of the Sunday thing, I have the lowest point total by 5. So again, like the whole Kyler Murray thing might just be like, oh, like whatever, I lost by 30 anyways. I needed 6 points to avoid being the last place like point getter. So
who's next up on the list?
Dante, points getting
you bitch, you're next up on the list. You motherfucker, it's you. It's fucking you. I looked at that like because I was reading that and I'm like, oh, let me go check the points. I figured I was in last, so I'm not like shocked they came in last. I figured that, but it's the fact that it's only by 5 points I missed out on. 5 fucking points.
Dante, here's the thing. Point totals still get accumulated through the postseason.
Sick.
So even if you...
Again, and it goes back to what we talked about. Kyler Murray's out. Fine. Thank you for giving me Justin Fields. That ended up working in my favor. But guess what? I also got Hollywood Brown from you, and you guys were saying, oh, Cardinals receivers are... lose them, dump them, get rid of them, throw them in the dumpster or whatever. So that makes me feel really good about him. I guess that does help. I guess that the points do accumulate for the playoffs, but still, it's just the fact. It's just the thing. You know, it's why. Why?
You know what? No. Dante, you have wide receiver 1 status, Jerry Jeudy.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You know that's not true. You know that's not true. He had a good week. He had a great week.
As a wide
receiver 1, Julian. You would not take him on your team right now. You would not take him on your team right now. Do not.
Jerry Jeudy had a good week because Russell Wilson was out. Like, plain and simple.
Right. That's fine.
If Russ doesn't play next week, Dante's in for a.
Yeah, but that man's that's a man of God right there. He's probably been in the church the last fucking 72 hours saying Hail Marys, Our Fathers, and he'll be wrapped up ready to go next Sunday.
Dude, I mean, okay. But here's the thing. Russell Wilson, but if Russell Wilson doesn't play...
No, what are you trying to say?
Jerry Jeudy,
Listen, I don't think there's anything you can say right now.
He's spicy.
No.
But so you don't have a bad core.
And the best thing is, Dalton, is that we play each other again this week. So round two, baby.
It's great.
Round 2, baby.
Real talk. I do need some fantasy advice. DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders, Isaiah Piocho, and then David Montgomery. All are
Who's Isaiah Piocho?
Projected. Okay, however you say his fucking name.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, I think more so my question is David Montgomery or DeAndre Swift?
I don't know. I'd probably Swift.
I would say DeAndre Swift. Stay with Swift.
Yeah.
Stay with Swift.
Cool.
All right, now I got a question for you guys. I got some fancy advice from you guys.
I think it would be hilarious for Dante versus Dalton to be a battle of touches between Pacheco and McKinnon. I think that.
So
would
you're
be
saying McKinnon is who you think I should pick up? He's going up against Houston. But
Thanks, Brianna. And that does it for the regular season of the Flex League. My name's Todd Schaefer, and we'll be back after Week 15.
This is AJ Caldwell of the Flex League. Thankful to have made the playoffs, but of course, I have to do a punishment because I got the loser's wheel. Yay! Little do you guys know, but this was a perfect opportunity for me to tell Jamal Williams, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. See you guys in the playoffs.